Hey everyone, welcome to the Off-Grid Cabin. This week we are just doing random projects around the homestead. I finished the winter access trail, built houses for the kennels in the backyard for the dogs that we have coming, put up some shelving, which I'm going to update here in the future. I'm not sure if I will get to that in this video. And I talk about firewood, as some of you have asked about that in the comments below. If you want, there are chapters you can jump around if there's a topic that you want to see. Otherwise, hope you enjoy this video. So I'm out here on our brand new winter access trail. We just had 6 inches of snow, so yesterday me and Katie came out and did our best to push it down with snowshoes. I'm out in just my regular boots today to see if I can get it a little bit packed. I'm also gonna clear some of these branches that in the dark you might not see. You might get an eye poked out. As well, there are a handful of downed trees on the trail. A few of them are big enough that I'm gonna need the chainsaw, so I got the sled along with me with the chainsaw, our sawzall, and some loppers. All right, so as I'm going down the trail, I'm putting up these trail marking tacks. They are a reflective little dot. They're pretty inconspicuous when they're on a tree, but when they're at eye level and you have a headlamp on, like when it's dark out or snowy conditions, it'll shine on it and you'll be able to see, where the trail is. So here's the first tree. You gotta come around this birch tree and then make a nice sharp turn around this down tree through these over here. But if we could just cut that off, that'd be perfect. Cleaned up pretty nicely. A little bit of a stump that maybe in the summertime that'll be a lot more rotten. It's tight, but you have a perfect turn now to be able to get around. And the sled fits just fine. This is kind of a snaky little spot here. But none of the turns are too bad for the sled. Gotta go back and put some tacks in the trees. The last few days we had winter storm warnings. We've probably had about 20 inches of snow so far this year. Today, though, it is hovering right around freezing. It's probably 33 degrees currently. As you can maybe hear around me, everything is melting. All the snow on the trees is falling off. Last night it warmed up to about 30 and we had a layer of ice. All that beautiful powdery snow got covered with that trash. I figured today I'll start out with a little firewood update because some of you have asked in the comments. So this is the main rack that I've been pulling oak logs off of. Still a decent amount of wood in there. But as you can see, pulled some of those logs off. So the rack over here is still a full cord, probably even more than a full cord. The 12-foot racks that I had, as long as it's 4 feet tall and then 2 logs deep, is 1 full cord. So I haven't touched that, and it's actually over a cord because I think it's about closer to 5 feet that I have that stacked. This tarp is red pine boards. A lot of them are like around 11 feet. There's some just 9-footers in there, but I'm planning to put up some bookshelves and finish up some other shelves that I started, which I will add to this video in a little bit here. So coming back into the backyard, this pile is, I grab a few logs here and there when the snow's been bad and I didn't want to go outside. So that's about all I've taken. So between these 2 stacks on the right and left side of the doorway, we are over a cord. For this one, I have been pulling the most wood off of it. Definitely made a dent in it. Depending on the temperature, we're going through 15 to 20, 22 logs a day. This last week averaged highs of about 15 degrees. We woke up to 10 degrees multiple days. So it's been colder. I did end up buying some fans to try to blow some of the heat upstairs, as the basement is where our wood stove is, and it will be 20 degrees warmer than the main level. Normally we're getting the main level to about 62 to 65 degrees, and that just over 60 feels pretty perfect. So normally waking up in the morning when it's been 10 degrees outside, we've been seeing about 55 degrees. That's basically where it dies down overnight. And I haven't woken up in the middle of the night to stoke the fire any. So waking up, there's still coals in the bottom. It's still pretty warm in the basement, just about 55 degrees upstairs, which, you know, with a sweatshirt and all that is pretty doable, but feed the fire right away in the morning. As it gets colder outside, as this area can have a whole month of negative 20 degrees sometimes, temperatures not getting above 0 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll have to see if that changes any. But I still feel pretty good about where we are with wood.
What do you got? What do you got? You got your rings.
Okay, ready? Okay, ready? Finished getting the kennels up, tightening all the screws, everything there, and now we got to build some houses for the 2 dogs that we have coming. They are outdoor Huskies. They've lived their whole lives outdoors. So I'm going to put some boxes together. So I have a cut list. I have a bunch to go through. Probably use 4 sheets of plywood. There is a winter storm warning that starts at noon today, and I have to go to town. So there's a chance I'm just going to cut it all down and leave it sit for a bit. Made good progress. Good morning. That winter storm did hit. It is a winter wonderland all over again. Trees are absolutely covered. I'm gonna come over to the this flat surface to be able to give you a read on how much snow we have. 9 inches. Well, since we got all of this snow, I need to pack our winter trail to make sure we don't lose it as more snow is on the way. But one of the things that most off-grid people don't talk about is what they do with their trash. So as I'm hiking out, I'm going to bring basically 2 weeks worth of garbage. We have 2 bags here. And I'm going to put it into one larger bag because we have to pay at a transfer station per bag that we bring because, you know, there's not a landfill up here. It's a very natural area, a lot of national forest land and all that stuff. So they have to truck it elsewhere. So we basically pay for that mileage and all that stuff. They don't take into account my mileage, having to hike out a half mile and then drive it another 25 miles to a transfer station. But I also have recycling. I have it single sorted in a bag, and I will sort it at a recycling center. Bad news bears. It has tipped over 4 different times now, so I'm just gonna walk ahead and try to pack down the trail with my snowshoes, and then I'll come back for the sled. As I'm getting into the trail, there's so much heavy snow that I've had to knock down branches or knock down snow just to get the branches out of the way. But isn't this trail just magical? Coming around the bend, here's that big giant white pine. Well, setting up pretty nicely, it looks like. There's some high spots that I'm just kicking down with my snowshoes, but I'm liking it. There is I just got an alert, another winter storm warning for the next few hours. Could get a bunch more snow. It's just starting to come down a little bit. Well, check it out. Got everything out of here. Nice open closet now, so that's pretty sweet. But this is an 8-foot 2x4. Check it out. We're off by a little bit. So luckily I have 3 2x4s and we only need 2 for the uprights. So I'm just gonna cut blocks to put either on the top or bottom, and then we'll just be able to cut off whatever we need to make it fit nice and tight. Not going nowhere. So that framing's all in place. These are the shelf brackets that I found. Just the cheapest one you can get at Home Depot. It's made of wood, painted black. It's for a 12-inch shelf. One issue that I just realized, when I went to buy the white pine, rough sawn white pine from the guy, he couldn't get to the 12-inch pieces that he had, even though he had it listed. And he talked me into buying 10-inch, saying, oh, if it's a pantry, that's more than enough space for a shelf. So I have a bracket for 12-inch pieces of wood, and the shelves, I believe, are right around 10 inches, maybe 9 3/4 or something like that. Four big, nice open shelves. I think, cans are usually about 10 inches, so there'll be more than enough room to have cans on both of these middle shelves. Probably do like overstock stuff that's taller, because that's probably about 16 inches up there. Here's 16 inches here. And then great big bottom for all the dog food and stuff.
So after work this weekend, I went to my parents' house because we had left the cats there while we were trying to get settled here. So I went and picked them up and all my plants and brought all the remaining living creatures back to the cabin. We just kind of set up a little temporary shelter thing here for them so they can be cozy and feel safe. And then eventually we'll get this all set up and nice for them.
TT. Oreo.
Just looking at the dogs walking on the ceiling.
Pretty comfy cat.
Well, didn't get to making the dog houses, but made a wood rack for inside. I was tired of stacking all the wood here and having it just falling out the door or not being able to open the door because it came over to the edge. So I made a little rack to keep things in. So 4 feet tall, it's about 44-ish inches wide, which was the opening here behind the door. And just kind of made it similar to outside with... these are spaced out 10 inches for a 16-inch log to fit perfect. The sides are all 16 inches, and then there's a little shelf for kindling. So I'll be able to load all that up.
Sure, bud. Leave that. Hey, you gonna steal my wood? Here, take that one. Yeah, eat it.
All right, I think that's where we're going to leave you this week. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell to be notified as we post new content. We will see you guys on the next one. Have a great week. We are having a decent snowfall. I think we've had about 3 inches fall already, as you can not see any of the trail that we have walked on previously. And we could have up to 9 inches today or tonight. So fun.